Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to another inspiring episode 32 of The Limelight. I am Fareen here. Well, today I have a guest who is witty and gorgeous. Plus, she is an entrepreneur. She is the founder of WeekendNuts and also a trainer and a traveler. Listeners, please welcome our guest Rupa Patil. Welcome to the show, Rupa. How are you doing today?
Hey Farheen, it is always great connecting with you. Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show today.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's always pleasure to connect with you, Farheen. I'm your fan.
Oh my god. I'm really flying right now. Well, jokes apart, Rupa, before we get into the story behind your baby company, Weekend Nuts, I want you to tell our listeners about your personal life.
Dear listeners, thank you for having me here. So, as Farheen has mentioned, I am Rupa and I'm from Mumbai, a beautiful city in India. And by education, I'm an engineer like most of us here. But by choice, I'm an entrepreneur. I think on a personal side, I'm a die-hard optimist. I'm a huge fan of ideas and people behind them. And now you know why I'm Farheen's fan. And personally, I believe that I have a soul of nomad trapped in a body of a workaholic person. So that's really me.
Oh my god, these are really interesting facts I've heard about you, Rupa. I pray that God keeps you and your family healthy and happy always.
That's nice.
So now I want to say two things about the name Weekend Nuts. It really gives me, when I hear, a refreshing feeling, and plus the excitement and the word nuts. It is like going crazy. So tell me more. What made you create this company?
Exactly the same reason as you talked about. Let me first talk about the name and then the company, okay?
Yeah.
So it really started in year 2004 when I shifted base from Mumbai to another great city of India, Bangalore. Although I was working full time in corporate life, my weekends were getting a little boring. So I used to constantly search for events to, tuck myself in on the weekends.
Mhm.
But back then, the number of events were really, less and rare. So by 2010, I decided to be a part of the solution. And instead of hunting for events, I decided to roll my own event. And it was really nuts. I had 4 to 5 friends, believers, colleagues who probably were as crazy as I am. So we really started as, a casual group of 4 to 5 people. And then we had to just give it a name because, we were making it as a website. So we just took a quick poll and one of my very good friends said, hey, you know what? You do events on weekend and you guys are totally nuts. So why don't you call yourself Weekend Nuts? I loved it. We all loved it. And that's how the name came into picture.
Yes, it's really brilliant. And as there's a saying, necessity is the mother of invention.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, Farheen. Probably you would, when you interview a lot of entrepreneurs, you'd hear this on and on, People found a problem and they
Yes.
just wanted to be a part of solutions. So entrepreneurs are nothing but problem solvers.
Yes, exactly right. Okay, now for an entrepreneur, first when they start, there are challenges. Okay, so can you just tell me what were your challenges?
I'm so glad you asked what were your challenges because they were multiple and they still exist. Some of them still exist, or I have new set of challenges.
Okay.
The challenges are integral part of entrepreneurial journey and it's absolutely fine. So some of my early challenges were sometimes even today I still face the work-life balance as a challenge. Now this is true for all the entrepreneurs, but especially being a woman entrepreneur or rather a mompreneur, right? So I have a 4-year-old really cute boy. But, having a family and running a business these two things can get really jittery at times. You can't really do 100% justice to one. Now, when I started, I think this was my really, really big challenge. And unlike my corporate life where I had defined, days of work and hours of work, business is essentially 24 bar 7. So there is no concept of weekends. There are no concept of holidays. So work-life balance remains, continues to be a challenge until you find a way to somehow tackle it. So I wouldn't say I have completely solved it, but I have found out a schedule. I have made space for a schedule like, select weekends or holidays where I become completely offline. I'm only dedicating that time to my family. So that's the best justice that I can do, because once I am at work, I am a workaholic. I'm going to work like a crazy person. So that certainly was always a challenge. Have you heard of work-life balance as a continuous challenge?
Yes, that I have heard, and what you have said is exactly right. We have to find a balance between our personal life and the work. When we are at work, give your 100%, and when you're at home, be with your family, enjoy your family.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's exactly what I believe, and what I recommend others also to do. And I think the second challenge, which I'll just put it in a single word, is rather two words, is cash crunch. So that starts, and unless and until you scale up, you have the defined set of clients. That cash crunch can continue to really haunt any entrepreneur.
Yeah, right. Okay, now Rupa, I have something very exciting for you.
Uh-huh.
It is the rapid fire round.
Okay.
I have four random questions, and you can answer them in a word or a sentence, okay?
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Okay, so first one, who is your favorite cartoon character?
Right now, it is Mickey, because I've got a 4-year-old. I see Disney, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse always. So Mickey Mouse it is.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Which is your favorite mobile app?
Mobile app? I think my email app, I use a Gmail app. Oh my god, I live by that. I'm sorry, it's boring, but that is my favorite.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Which is your favorite street food?
Chaat, all sort of charts. I'm from India. I love charts.
Yeah, same here. Okay, the last question.
Uh-huh.
If you had a chance to meet one famous lady, who would it be?
I would go back in the history and meet my all-time favorite Jhansi Ki Rani.
Oh my god, that is really good.
Thank you. She is awesome.
Yes, she is. She's a symbol of power. When I hear the name itself, I get goosebumps.
Absolutely. Same here, Farheen. Absolutely same here.
Okay, that was the end of the rapid fire round.
Yes, did I win?
Well, you did great. That's what I can say.
I'm just kidding. Thanks, go ahead.
Okay. So we have reached the last section of our show where we ask your advice to our listeners.
Right. So first, I'll start with a business advice, and this is for all the entrepreneurs out there who are working so hard to realize their dreams and to build an empire out of their dreams. So, and a piece of advice to them is talking about, our previously mentioned work-life balance. I strongly recommend that if you're running a business, make sure that your brand is active online, even when you are away. So, for example, you and your entire company, however big or small, if you are on your off day, maybe you're celebrating your vacation at Christmas or a Diwali, your brand has to be as active as it was during a weekday. So look forward for automating your marketing efforts. There are great solutions out there in the market. We have recently launched something called as a digital marketplace, which essentially automates your marketing efforts. You pick and choose, you pay per use. It's a pay per use platform with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. but it is all made for a simple reason, to ensure that your brand stays active online even when you are away. So that will be my first set of advice. And second advice is for any person, any human being with a dream. So if you have a dream, you have to do. Let me say that again. If you have a dream, you have to do. So don't just say, for example, don't just say that I want to run a marathon. If you really, really dream of running a marathon, look at your 12 months calendar. Block that one date out there in future and then start working backwards. But you have to absolutely do, because giving up or not doing is just not an option at all. So these are two pieces of my recommendations or suggestions, not really an advice.
Okay, Rupa, I really appreciate those precious advice, and you have said those things which are really important. If you dream, you have to do it and go for it rather than just thinking and shutting that down.
Yes.
Last but not the least, I want to thank you for agreeing and coming here, telling your story to us and the listeners. I really appreciate that and I thank you for that.
I have to absolutely thank you for calling me here. And I just want to turn to your audience for a second, and I need to tell them that in case if you really want to grow in your life, and we all do want to grow, right? The very fact that you have tuned into this podcast tells me and tells Farheen, and that should tell yourself that you're really taking control of your life. You're doing something of value. So totally appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And Farheen, I can't thank you enough for calling me here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Rupa, and all the best to you and Weekend Nuts.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. So, listeners, if you have liked this interview, please don't do conjuicy in liking the Limelight page. And also possibly do check out the Weekend Nuts page. They are really awesome. So, thank you for listening and Allah Hafiz.